You've got azradio.live's Independent Artist Spotlight Show with today's guest, Wayne Ramm, brought to you by Kirk Studio for the Performing Arts. Kirk's is a Valley's premier music studio. Call us or go to kirkstudio.com. It's also brought to you by the Arizona Orthodontic Studio. Arizona Orthodontic is a modern, friendly, and comfortable office located next door to Kirk Studio for the Performing Arts on the corner of Frank Lloyd Wright and Via Linda. Call 480-451-3088 to make an appointment today. AZ Radio Live is a 501(c) operating under a nonprofit called Rhythms House, providing free lessons and support to those in need. Wayne Ramm is a music aficionado and singer-songwriter who started out in Chicago, home of the urban blues. He moved to Bakersfield, where he was exposed to country, rock and roll, and classical and jazz music. He moved to the classical melting pot of Phoenix and the Great Southwest, finally landing in northwest New Mexico, where he has his own radio show on 91.7 FM KGLP, member-supported public radio. Wayne traveled from Gallup, New Mexico to help us celebrate our first year anniversary. Ladies and gentlemen, the Wayne Ramm.
All right. Thank you, sir. Jump into my truck, headed out on the road, and with just a little bit of luck, I'll hit the mother lode. When I really take time and look over my dashboard, then I see sights and smells and sounds, they really speak to me. Going fast or going slow, when you're on it, you will always know. No matter where I go, there's always gonna be another dirt road. Slow down, going so fast. Really take your time. Drink it in and really begin to see what you will find. Beauty and adventures lying just around the bend. When you see it, you'll greet it just like it's a long-lost friend. In the sun or in the snow, when you're on it, you will always know. No matter where you go, there's always gonna be another dirt road. Don't let the next road pass you by. Don't rush by, slow down, let the breeze brush by. On a mountaintop that's been dipped in pure white snow, flowing sunlight on a green grass field, sprinkling water in a stream that rambles by the way, constant reminders that you'll know there's always gonna be another dirt road. Another dirt road.
Wayne Ramm on the Arizona azradio.live Independent Artist Spotlight Show. That's off of your most recent LP or album, isn't it?
That's correct. Appreciate that. Yeah, it's the title track from that album, and I'm sorry my guitar went wacko
That's okay.
during that song, so I'll talk and tune at the same time.
Well, that's live radio for you, live radio. So nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, I gotta apologize since you're doing that. It took us. You were on our show about a year ago, and it took me 6 months to finally have time to download your music finally. So after you were on our show, we played maybe one song, but then I listened to your whole album. I said, "This is great. We're adding this to our song list." So we added your music. It's been on our format ever since. So
Well, thank you. And I think I even requested it once about a month ago. So thanks a lot. I
sure,
appreciate
sure.
it.
Oh, were you on our website?
I
where you-
sure was.
Isn't that neat? Where you can request your own music and
And I
have it-
don't know that I was able to stick around till it came up.
Oh,
but
well,
I did request it.
every 5 minutes they play the requests. So it's meant to kind of get the listener to continue listening. Like if we played their song right away, they'd listen to it and then tune out right away. So we kind of have a strategy there. Well, you know,
Yeah.
sir, welcome to Phoenix.
Well, thank you. It's good to be back. I lived here for 36 years, I think it was altogether. Went to tech school and graduated and played music. So it's been a wonderful time. I'm staying in just on the outskirts of Gallup of New Mexico now. A little place called Ramm. Actually, not in the town, but 13 miles down a dirt road. So
Wow.
how appropriate.
Is that where the title of your album came from?
That is correct.
Wow,
that's
that's
where a lot
cool.
of the idea for the song came from.
And on your album, is that where the photo came from? Is that your actual road?
You know, it's not.
Okay.
I found something that was even better. It's actually in the French Alps.
Wow.
I'm sorry, the Italian Alps.
Okay, big difference. French
Yeah.
or Italian? Well, no, just kidding. What about your radio gig? I know you're really excited about that.
Well, about last February, in January of this year, I've discovered that our local station there, the local community public radio station, had an opening for a programmer for a Thursday night 10 p.m. slot, and they wanted it to be jazz, funk, blues, in that genre, R&B, soul. And so I submitted my demos, and they snapped me right up.
That's
So
amazing.
that was nice.
You know what? The
doing that
questions you gave me, I left them on the speaker over there, so you'll have to forgive me. I don't know what you provided me, so you'll
Okay.
have to run the show as far as what questions you wanted.
Okay. Well, I was going to tell you about, for those who didn't know me before, hadn't listened to last year's show, my musical background goes all the way back to age 7. I've played a number of instruments. I have kind of like an ADD personality, and it all adds up. So,
It's
don't
a
sit
common
still.
thing, common thread.
Yeah, and I'm left-handed, but people say I'm in my right mind, which I like that idea. And so I play my guitar upside down and backwards just
Oh
to be a
my
little
goodness.
different, and
Okay.
it works wonderfully for me.
Well, that's
But,
cool. I didn't know that, and you were on the show last year. I didn't know all this. This is much better interview.
Yeah,
this year.
I was hoping to make it kind of interesting, and then the other thing is, of course, I've just been a busy guy. I don't work anymore.
Okay.
I have
Well,
jobs, but
Well,
don't
I
work.
mean, work. How do you explain that?
Well, I'm only doing things I love to do. I'm
Wow,
teaching
that's
guitar, and on all day on Saturdays up in Gallup. I found out by kind of a serendipitous ways that I worked on amps and guitars, and they said, "Well, could you do them for our store?" I said, "Sure." So I'm fixing everything from Fender to PV and what have you on the guitar. I mean, on the amp side, fixing guitars and electric acoustics and all that.
Well, congratulations. That's quite an accomplishment.
And then, of course, I'm doing the radio gig, and I also perform regularly in the area. There's a little town called Zuni. All my Zuni friends down there, hello.
Hello, Zuni.
Yeah, play there on Friday nights, and then occasionally play up in Gallup. They have open mics there now, too, which I love to do. And,
Gallup, New Mexico.
yes, Gallup.
How far away is that from Albuquerque?
It's about 2 hours
Okay.
from Albuquerque.
Is
on
it
the
near
interstate.
Santa Fe at all?
No, it's further from Santa Fe.
Is Gallup
actually.
south?
It's north, and it's like 24 miles east of the the Arizona border.
Oh, well, I guess I should know that. Okay.
Well, it's
Well, you've got song number 2. This is off of your album, Another Dirt Road. What cut is this? I know it's on that album.
it's actually what number cut? I think it's number 2 on the album.
Yeah, it's
and
good.
it's got a story.
Okay.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you the story after the song. How's that
Okay,
sound?
that's cool.
Okay.
Thank you for letting me know so I could be quiet. So after your song. This
Well,
is
you can remind me in case I forget.
I will. This is Sitting in the Middle of Nowhere
Yeah.
by Wayne Ramm on azradio.live.
traveling along the road so long, trying to find the end of the highway. When my dreams come true, I'll be thinking of you, and I won't want to think about leaving. Sitting in the middle of nowhere, trying to hitch a ride to somewhere. I'd better get going. It's gotta be better than sitting in the middle of nowhere. The dust and the sun tell me I've just begun to feel the pain I'm feeling today. But as I turn my back, I'll be crossing the tracks, and I know I'll have to be on my way. Sitting in the middle of nowhere, trying to hitch a ride somewhere. I'd better get going. It's gotta be better than sitting in the middle of nowhere. Hold on. Harmonica, where'd you go? Mile after mile in the same old style, hoping that it ain't gonna rain. It may last for a while, but I can say with a smile that all of the roads are the same. Now I know that wherever I go, I'll find you at the end of my day. You'll be lingering around all the love that I found, and I know I'll always travel your highway. Sitting in the middle of nowhere, trying to hitch a ride somewhere. I better get going. It's gotta be better than sitting in the middle of nowhere. When I'm sitting in the middle of nowhere, I'm just trying to hitch a ride somewhere. I'd better get going. It's gotta be better than sitting in the middle of nowhere.
Well, what's the story about that?
All right,
Sitting in the middle of
story about-
nowhere.
The story is so interesting, I think. As my wife and I were going on our honeymoon up through northern Arizona, through the Monument Valley area. And for anyone that's been up to that desolate land, it's miles and miles of flat and nothing. And so suddenly, I'm driving, but suddenly my wife looks over the side of the road. Look at that guy just sitting there in the middle of nowhere. And he was literally just there, nothing around him. I didn't even see a car or a bicycle or a dog or anything. Anyway, had his thumb out. Well, guess what? Honeymoon, we're not going to have anybody in. We're not going to anybody to join us on the trip. So all of a sudden I had this inspiration. I said, Nancy, get out a pencil and paper. I've got a song. While I'm driving, I wrote that song in the next 10 minutes. No lie.
That's amazing.
Chords, the structure and everything. So very special song to both her and I.
That is so neat. AZ Radio still has music news. We've partnered with the local music and art co-op to help sponsor a toy drive for the Phoenix Children's Hospital with an event at the Timeout Lounge on Mill Avenue in Tempe, Saturday, December 22nd, featuring Vince Thrill, Tommy Phelps, Chalk Outlines, Vark Nation, Panama Pete, Acoustic Outcasts, and introducing Janelle along with live artist Tarak K. This happens December 22nd from 8:30 to 1 a.m. and azradio.live will be there. Who needs eggnog? Go out and see this show. Mills End will be in azradio.live studios performing a set of their best music with a very special Saturday, November 17th evening broadcast streaming event. Show starts at 7 p.m. Saturday, November 17th, the bands Red Rum, Malicious Melodies, and Vic Tim's Kentucky Rifles play at Gypsy's Roadhouse. No cover charge. Show starts at 9 p.m. It is an all-in-the-row production. And you can hear this show on a podcast starting, we'll release it Sunday at 12:01 a.m. in the morning. So you go to Spotify, you can hear this show The Billy Chaffee, Louis Ray Camarada, and Eric Ramsey show should be on the air in the morning also. So you can listen to those shows on the podcast. And that's this edition of Music News on this 15th day of November of 2018.
It's already 2018,
Yeah.
almost over too.
Yeah.
Wow.
I remember when it was 1964.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
what a year.
That's how old I was. That was when the Beatles invaded America.
Yeah, she loves you. Yeah.
Well, let's hear what. Oh yeah, I got. Do you have some more questions for me or for you that you want me to ask you?
Yeah, I think one of the things you were going to ask me was, what have I been up to in the last year since I was here?
Yeah. What have you been up to this last year?
Well,
since we've been?
I'm so glad you asked.
Yes.
Well, it's been a busy year, actually a busy 2 years. I had tours through Texas and California. In fact, the previous year, the Texas tour ended up in Oklahoma.
Oh.
And yeah.
My sister lives in Oklahoma.
Well, it was the one-nighter. In fact, it was funny. We were, my buddy, my road manager, and we were in Texas. We were actually in Dallas. We were doing a show for a fellow by the name of Dollar Bill. It was his birthday
Dollar Bill.
show. Yeah, nice blowout, big old gathering, and he got a call from this fellow that my buddy knew in Purim, Oklahoma, and he says, "Well, where are you?" We're in Dallas. Well, why don't you come on over here? It's about a 4-hour drive. Okay, so we're on the road the next morning, and I called my wife. I said, Nancy, hey, everything's going good, and we're on the road. We're on the way over to Oklahoma, and she goes, Oklahoma. not in quite that voice, but she was pretty excitable. She
Wow.
thought we were going to head home after that,
Oh wow.
and so we did a show there, and I tell you, I sold so many CDs over there.
Wow.
And they really done everything up real nice. Biscuits and gravy.
How neat.
They had fried catfish and
That's
all
great.
kinds of wonderful food.
When
And
you're really good at these small, like folksy type festivals. I mean, they're not necessarily small, but they're in these small towns in rural America. And what can you tell us about that? Because I've seen pictures. And tell us about this camel.
oh my goodness, it's funny. That's the one you found. I'm sure on my Facebook page.
Yeah,
Who knows
yeah.
from when? But yeah, there's a whole bunch of places on what they call the Ancient Way. It's Highway 53 that goes through parts of New Mexico and in our general area. And there's this area. It's called El Moro, and it turned out during the old Wild West days that the U.S. Army was trying to find out how they could deal with long distances and where there might not be water. Well, they took a chance and they tried out camels, literally, as the pack animals and carrying them.
Oh my
and
gosh.
something happened with the experiment. I think the Army canceled the funding for it. But anyway, every year or every other year, they bring a couple camels back and they talk about it and they tour it. So here I am. We're listening to the guy talk about it, and then afterwards I got my guitar out and I posed, or I got the camel to pose with me some pictures, and
Well,
that was one of the better ones.
Yeah, that gets a lot of press. That gets a lot of press. And they had a movie out back in the 70s about that. Do you remember that? About the Army bringing in camels and they're trying to ride the camels?
Yeah, it was very interesting. And, yeah,
It
again,
wasn't a very good movie, but it was a movie they made about that.
well, and it sounds like it's pretty historically correct.
yeah,
but,
it was a Walt Disney movie, I think.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so that was fun and playing all over in the New Mexico area. But I got to tell you that one. Well, both trips to Texas. I'll tell you all the places I played.
Okay.
I was just trying to remember them all. Played at Seguin, at the forgot the name of the bar right now, but in Dallas at Dollar Bill's.
Okay.
Played in Tillman. Actually, this Old Settlers music festival has been there for many years.
Cool.
Played that. Played at the Green Mesquite in Austin.
Okay.
A place called Jake's Backyard at Pipe Creek, Texas.
Okay.
Fredericksburg.
Frederick.
Also played Luckenbach. And it went so well, they asked me back for the next night.
That's
and they
great.
said, would you co-host the show with me? And I said, well, heck yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah.
That's great.
And then in New Mexico, on our way over there, played at the Madrid Mine Shaft Tavern in Madrid. They call it Madrid,
Okay.
not Madrid.
Yep.
Okay.
Make that clear.
Yes. And they said, don't mess up.
Oh,
And they actually had a
yeah.
local radio station there. It was like an entrance to a mine shaft.
All right.
And I had to wait till the DJ came out on her break, and I said, boom, hand her my CD, and I said,
Cool.
love it if you play it. She says, what's your reach here? She says, oh, about to the edge of town. It's a real low power thing.
Oh, wow.
And then in California, a month after that, I did a California tour, going up to Northern California. There's a place called the Crazy Horse Saloon,
Okay.
and played the pre-Strawberry Jam.
Wow.
A lot of fun,
Neat.
both of those years, and then followed it up by the Strawberry Music Festival. So just lots of fun times
Awesome.
in California. And I grew up, like I say, at Bakersfield and
Yep. And
a place called Hanford.
I really think you'll be making that tour next year. That will be awesome to visit those places again. And you've got 5 pounds of possum with a tour like that. Is this related to that at all?
You know, well, you know, interestingly enough, I played this song for those folks in Porham, and one of the fellows goes in a kind of a voice sort of like this. He goes, "You ever had possum?" And I said, "No, you?" And he goes, "Yeah, once. You only have it once. You never have it again." it's no
That's
good.
funny. That's great.
So that was fun, and everybody in that place, they just were eating it up. Says, "Nobody ever plays here." I said, "Well, let's change that tonight."
Oh,
So,
great. This is 5 pounds of possum
Yeah.
by Wayne Ramm
Yeah.
on the Independent Artist Spotlight Show on azradio.live.
Here we go. Well, my children are hungry, my dog needs a bone. I'm out of the job now, I'm a driving home. An hour after sundown, and what to my delight, I see 5 pounds of possum in my headlights. Just a driving down the highway, looking left and right. My headlights are on, I run them at night. Straight up ahead, oh, it's a wonderful sight. And I see 5 pounds of possum in my headlights. He won't put up a fuss, he won't put up a fight. I'll get me 5 pounds of possum in the pot tonight. If I can run him over, everything will be all right. I can see the possum gravy, what a wonderful sight. I'll try to take him carefully, try to do it right. And we'll have 5 pounds of possum in the home tonight. Won't have to kill no chicken or open any cans. Just a little bit closer and I'll have him in my hand. I think the time has come now to go from dim to bright. And give me 5 pounds of possum in the pot tonight. He won't put up a fuss, he won't put up a fight. I'll get me 5 pounds of possum in the pot tonight. He didn't put up a fuss, he didn't put up a fight. No, sir. We got me 5 pounds of possum in the pot tonight.
Wayne Ramm on the Independent Artist Spotlight Show. This week, azradio.live will be adding Prophet and the Cowboys of Apocalypse out of Tempe, Arizona. The lead vocalist named Prophet also has a band called Madness, which we will feature next week between the hours of 1 a.m. and 5 a.m. Good rock and roll. Actually, it's very, very heavy metal. That's why we're playing it in the morning, in the middle of the morning. Jacob Morales of Exo Music, please send us MP3 tracks to info@azradio.live so we can upload your music. I spent over an hour trying to pull your music from the files you sent me, and it was unsuccessful. MP3 files are the quickest way to get your music on the air. Brian Mogul sent us a track entitled Make Them Go Away, and Paradise Valley and now California professor Dr. Eric Schultz has given us his just released album entitled Estuary, and we will add it next week. This album is available everywhere, and it's great synthesis techno stuff. If you like house, you'll like this. Send your MP3 files of your awesome music to us at info@azradio.live, and if it's radio ready, we'll play it. And that's it. New music for this week.
Wow.
We're always trying to add music this week, and please send us your music so your fans we can upload it and your fans can request it. And they like Wayne Ramm.
Hey.
Look up Wayne Ramm and play any of his music.
It's two M's on the Ram too, by the way.
Absolutely.
It's not a Dodge Ram. It's even better.
Yeah. Okay, good. Anyhow, any questions for me? Because I'm going to my question page now.
Oh, go for it.
Okay. Let's talk about your show, Jazz Inside and Out, that airs on 10 p.m. on KGLP. What is that show like, and what's it about?
Okay. Well, that was a show that ran from February through October, and it turned out they offered me, in addition to that, a show on Fridays starting October. So here's what happened. I played my Thursday night show, and again, it says, here's the latitude you have. We'd like it kind of be based around jazz, and then you can throw in funk, blues, R&B, and soul music. And so I really I mixed it up. I blended it. I had different features each week. I tended to, some nights I didn't have a lick of jazz in there. Okay. And for the most part, all those shows were from my own record collection.
Neat.
So
you have an LP collection at home?
I have LPs. I also have over 400 CDs too.
Oh my goodness.
I can't seem to stop collecting.
Oh, great.
And so, yeah, even the 50s and 40s and 30s jazz.
Okay, I got to ask these questions.
Yeah.
Do you have a cassette collection? A cassette tape?
I have, let's put it this way. I have a bunch of cassettes, mostly recordings from my LPs, but most of them are just laying there because I can record and play cassettes still, but I haven't put any cassettes on my show yet.
Oh, well, I'm wondering if you have a cassette collection at home of these 1980s.
No.
Well, that's good. Well, what happened to them? Because I think everybody did back in the day.
Well, I copied them from my LPs, so that was what I did.
Really?
Yeah.
When did you do that?
around 80s.
The 80s, and you.
It's like I played them in my car.
You had LPs in the 80s also?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. You had your own. You mean recorded artists? Okay, I didn't know you. Is it your own music or?
Not really. Although my ideas often ended up on a cassette.
Okay, so Led Zeppelin.
Yeah. And then what happened? Let's see now, because I do want to talk about my new show. I did finally, at the end of October, I gave up the Thursday night show, and let's face it, it ran live, and then all the shows are archived and put on left for download, streaming, podcast for 2 weeks. Okay.
Good.
But there's a couple other guys that have taken over that show and give them a shot at it. But Friday at 7 p.m., man, that's a sweet spot.
Wow.
And, anybody who's finished their long day and they're sitting down, relaxing in front of their dinner or, out in the porch, whatever, if it's not too cold.
Now, you're still doing the show, right?
I'm doing the Friday show.
Excellent.
Friday since October. I'm going to do that one till something.
What time does that start? 7
7 o'clock, and it's Mountain Standard or Mountain Daylight in the summer months.
And is this internet or terrestrial?
It's on True FM radio, 91.7 KGLP.
That is awesome.
And it also simulcasts, streams. And again, it's on. It's available for 2 weeks after the show. So, like for example, I've already recorded tomorrow night's show. Tomorrow night's show is I call it my Wayback Machine tomorrow because I'll start out with some more modern. I'll call it smooth jazz.
Why
without
not?
Offending anyone.
You got to get that voice too. Smooth jazz.
In fact, I slow it down and say, "Welcome once again to It's Jazz." That's the title of the program. And your host, Wayne Ramm. So, even though I want your folks here to make sure you listen to AZ Radio Live all the time, whenever you're not doing that, you can stream KGLP.org.
Very good. Very
which
good.
Does not stand for what you think it is. It's not for organism.
Yeah.
It's for Organization.
Organization, yes. Those skills I just don't have, organizational skills.
Oh, boy.
Well, we have Heartless Romance. What do you want us to tell us about this song?
This one I co-wrote with Lori McDonald, who some of you here in Arizona may know. It's not autobiographical or anything. It's just, but I tend to write songs about love. I've been married happily for many years. Ladies, don't get too excited. But I still, love is a great song subject anyway. So let's just go through the song. You get an idea what it's all about. Now it shouldn't have happened, but what can I say? She couldn't get away. I wrapped around my finger, her mind began to linger with the words that I say. There goes another story of heartless romance. She threw in the dice and paid the price for a game of chance. Aimless in vain, playing the game of heartless romance. I hooked another lover to put with the rest. It was easy, it was oh so easy. She fell from my old line, it works every time, just like with all the rest. There goes another story of heartless romance. She threw in the dice and then paid the price for a game of chance. Aimless in vain, playing the game of heartless romance. What do you do when your heart's gone astray? Go around breaking hearts every day. Take what you want and then walk away. The only thing worth having is to live for today. I left her in the morning, tears in her eyes. She didn't realize I told her I loved her. All I told her were lies. There goes another story of heartless romance. She threw in the dice and then paid the price for a game of chance. Aimless in vain, playing the game of heartless romance. Well, it ended like the others, not a word of regret. I'll never forget the time that I showed her, the lines that I told her. Yeah, I made her my pet. There goes another story of heartless romance. She threw in the dice and then paid the price for a game of chance. Aimless in vain, playing the game. Aimless in vain, ain't it a shame of heartless romance? Of heartless romance.
Future guests on the AZ Radio Independent Artist Spotlight Show. This Saturday, November 17th, we welcome the Mills Inn Band on our show. Mills Inn, folks, at 7 p.m. this Saturday. We have no show on Thanksgiving. November Thursday, the 29th, we have a date with the Clint Stevens Band show at 5 p.m. December 13th at 5 p.m., we finally have Faith singer Howard Faltz. His voice is so classic and you're sure to enjoy. Brian Mogul of the local music co-op makes a return appearance December 20th at 5 p.m. And we will be definitely talking about more interesting things on his show. We're going to let loose, we'll be talking about his show December 22nd, which AZ Radio is a co-sponsor of. Our last show of 2018 is the voice of AZ Radio, Doug Barnett, on December 27th. Beginning January 1st, we will be diversifying our programming to include live performances, informative podcasts, and independent artist spotlight show will move to once or twice a month. Whenever you want your act to appear, just make any tax-deductible donation, or your fans can help click on the donate button on our website, and voila, you have a show that reaches the world. And that's the future on azradio.live. Wonderful.
Sounds like a lot of great stuff happening here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't complain about all that. One of our artists, I forget his name, he said, okay, do we have to make a donation to be on the show? And we said, I've got to email him and say, no, sir, we're asking you, when you're on the show, ask your fans to make the donations, but it isn't a prerequisite. So I've got to send him that email this weekend. But anyhow, we're trying to keep the lights on.
Well, let me go ahead and ask my fans.
Absolutely.
Worldwide, everybody from Orem, Oklahoma, Dallas and Austin and Seguin and points unknown that way. And my friends in New Mexico, all over New Mexico, right? I forgot to mention I play in Albuquerque too. And all my friends in Arizona who, I lived so many years here, and also my friends, especially in Northern California, if you feel so inclined, support live radio like this, and it's fantastic. azradio.live.
Thank you very much, Wayne Ramm. We recorded that. We'll turn that into a commercial for you.
Well, thank you very much.
Hey, this is the fun part of the show. This is where I ask random, baseless questions and see where it takes us.
All right.
As far as the conversation goes. So, who do you think is today's greatest living jazz artist that is still doing live shows? Today?
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. You got to consider what kind of jazz.
Well, there's a Dinah Krall sort of commercial type jazz.
Right.
Have you seen Blaze Lines Hannah do her jazz show? Patrick Martin, you know who she is, right? She's but she actually does some jazz singing, and I hear it's very phenomenal. So.
No, I can't honestly say. I really had trouble with like the best or the. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna get it wrong probably, but I love the sax players these days, and I love the sax. So like David Sanborn, and Mindy Bear, and I've seen both of them in concert and just outstanding performances in the past. So I'm gonna say sax players for now.
Sax players, okay. Yeah. And David Sanborn, would you say?
Yeah.
Okay,
Sanborn
good.
Yeah.
And how about past jazz legends?
Oh my! I don't know that jazz drummers get enough praise, but one of my favorites, and I have one of his really old albums, is Gene Krupa, drummer.
Gene Krupa, wow.
Yeah, he was something else. Also, everybody knows. I can't remember his name. Sorry, but
Buddy Rich.
But that's the guy.
Yes, sir.
Everybody remembers.
Yeah. You know what his famous last words were?
No.
Oh my goodness! Right before he passed, they said, "Is there anything making you uncomfortable?" And he says, "Country western music."
Yeah, I think people that play a certain style of music, they have a sort of they try to keep other forms at arm's length maybe sometimes. Yeah, I'd say too, and I like Dixie. I learned to like Dixieland jazz as a young lad.
Yeah.
Al Hurt.
My dad loves Dixie jazz.
A lot of stuff, and Louis Armstrong. Both those trumpet players, awesome. Man.
How did you get the nickname The Outlaw?
Well, I've never followed convention too much. In fact, my web domain is alternatejourney.com, and so I've thought of doing things a little differently than others. Some might say, well, why are you embarking on a musical career at this point in your life? And I guess I always have really, but it's kind of blossomed since I stopped, quote unquote, working.
Yeah, that's neat. working and living
And
instead.
I do what I like. You know,
Yeah.
I've almost always been the leader of the bands I've been in. I didn't have a problem. I liked actually being a member of a band, but I seemed to flourish best when I had some artistic control and keep people on track and
Very cool.
hopefully.
And when is your that okay? When is your membership drive for KGLP?
You know, we just had one, and it's a modest amount they're going for. But we had problems with the transmitter. Believe it or not, our transmitter was supposed to transmit at only 1,500 watts.
Okay.
Believe it or not, and we were down to 250 watts.
Whoa.
Now, how it got anywhere, I have no idea.
Oh my
but
gosh.
but yeah, it's so. I think we raised about 10 grand at that time,
Good.
and it's paid for some of the repairs to
Excellent.
the transmitter and such.
And lastly, will you sing some Pat Benatar for us today?
Really?
Yeah, I saw this on
Oh,
your Facebook page.
really?
Somebody requested Pat Benatar, and you sang "Hit Me with Your Best Shot."
I'm only gonna sing like, hit me with your best shot. Why don't you hit me with your best shot? Hit me with your best shot. Fire away.
Wow. Thank you very much for that's the fun part of
Wow,
the show.
I
right
never
there.
expected that, but
Well-
I know that one by heart. You know, I used to play the first band I was in was a band called Fallis Ask, and nobody knows what it means except me, and it doesn't mean anything.
Okay.
And Lori McDonald was the lead female singer in that band. You probably have heard of her. She's still playing all over Arizona.
Very
A
cool.
lot, out of Clarkdale and Jerome and places up that way
Very
mostly.
neat.
But
Very neat.
she was in the band. In fact, I got to give a shout out to all my former band members from Fallis Ask, from
What is that band name?
yeah, the band name from Downtown Connection, which was
Okay.
our disco funk band from
Okay.
years and years
Okay.
ago.
Okay. The
I'll probably
80s,
leave,
70s?
yeah, I'll probably forget some from Hawk
Hawk.
and
Okay.
from Karma
Okay.
and Cross Thread. That was the last band I was in Phoenix.
Okay.
Were there others? There were others, but I'm just not
Well,
in the
good.
moment not remembering them. But all those folks, past and present, and I got to give a shout out to one of the more sad things in recent history with me, and I have to cover it because this fella meant a lot to me. Wesley Robertson, a broadcaster out of Northern California, KVMR radio. He broadcasted for 30 years as a volunteer broadcaster. Saturday show. I don't know how long he had the shot. Ever since I remember a program called Rockin' and Stompin', and he passed away in a car accident this spring before we had a chance to go to Texas together and for me to come back to California and do the Strawberry Festival stuff. And so a big hole in my heart, and a lot of folks in Northern California miss that guy.
Wow. Well, we tribute this to him. We've got time for one more song.
All
It's
right.
called "This Crazy Feeling." You want to talk about this a little bit?
Sure, this is another one of those love songs.
All right.
More of a happy one than that other
Okay.
one where the guy was being a real,
Unloving person.
yes. All right, here goes like this. I kinda thought that we hit it off, and maybe you'd stay a while. I'm kinda shy, but you caught my eye, and maybe I like your smile. Buy you a drink, so maybe you think that I don't wanna let you go. I've got a feeling, this crazy feeling won't go. I walked on over to look you over, maybe to ask your sign. My sign is Cancer, and I'm no dancer. I'm sure that you've heard that line. Take you to dinner, show I'm a winner. I think you ought to know. I've got a feeling, this crazy feeling won't go. My life has changed so much since I found you. Though I still get crazy just from being around you, I'm so glad I found you. I could have swore that we met before, but baby, I'm sure you're right. If we had met sometime before this, I wouldn't be here tonight. I'd be out dancing, dining, romancing you every Saturday night. I've got a feeling, this crazy feeling won't go. I've got a feeling, this crazy feeling won't go.
The Wayne Ramm on the Independent Artist Spotlight Show. Thank you for being our guest. You can catch Wayne on what station, sir?
KGLP 91.7 in Gallup or kglp.org on the internet.
Absolutely. And azradio.live is brought to you by Kirk Studio for the Performing Arts. If you want the pros to teach you or your family, then think kirkstudio.com. Okay, Wayne, we're out of here. Ready? 1, 2, 3. See ya.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, let's try that again.
What are we going to do?
Okay. C100 out of New York, on the top of the Empire State Building. He always ends his number one shows with, yeah. If you listen to New York radio, you can't miss Elvis Duran. He always ends his shows with 1, 2, 3, and everyone yells, see ya. So that's how we end our show.
All right.
And I should have coached everybody.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, so anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, we're out of here. 1, 2, 3, see ya. Okay, cool. Thank you. It's always half the fun just explaining that.
All right. All right. Well, thank you so much. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm sorry to do that. Well, look at the list just so you see if we anything like significant that you would have. Oh my gosh, that I barely remember to ask that one. We kind of covered a lot of ground because I had thought about.
I was hoping we'd talk about the fact that you had to purchase your CD.
Oh, okay. Well, if you do your announcements for another show, you can always throw that in if you want, or if it works out. Because it's available, pretty much everywhere.